A grassland is a large open area covered with grass. The climate in the grassland biome is characterized by low, irregular rainfall, high evaporation of water from the soil, and extreme temperature differences. In this grassland climate diagram, the temperature ranges from approximately 0 degrees Celsius to 25 degrees Celsius annually, with precipitation increasing in spring and summer. Soil in the grassland is very fertile due to the growth and decay of the branching grass roots. Compare the soil profile of grasslands to the other biomes. Notice the very deep layer of humus. The characteristic plant of a grassland is grasses, but a few small trees may also be found. Savannas are a type of grassland located in tropical and subtropical regions. Savannas have trees. Animals found in grasslands include bison, prairie dogs, hawks, and falcons. There are several animal adaptations for life in the grassland. Many animals have long-distance vision since the areas are large and don't have trees obstructing views. The eyes of grazing mammals are above the snout so they can see over the tall grass. Small mammals like prairie dogs stand up on their haunches in order to see around themselves. Camouflage in terms of coat colors and patterns allow the animals to blend in. Some animals have reduced motion when hunting to allow them to approach the prey without being noticed. Lions move slowly when stalking their prey. Some animals have sudden motion, like a snake striking suddenly. And many animals, like prairie dogs, live in elaborate underground burrows. Here's a prairie dog standing on his haunches to improve his view. And in the second picture, we see the lion blending in with the grass. Birds are strong flyers because winds in the grasslands can be strong. Birds nest in the tall grass or on the ground since there are no trees. And predatory birds fly high so they can find their prey. One way humans impact grasslands is by converting it to farmland since the soil is so fertile. Humans allow cattle to overgraze the grasses. Natural grasses are replaced with domestic grasses such as wheat, and many farming methods cause soil erosion to occur. This picture shows farmers turning the soil in a grassland, and these pictures show animals grazing. The desert biome is characterized by very little rainfall. Subtropical deserts are located between 30 degrees north and 30 degrees south latitude. The desert climate is characterized by less than 25 centimeters of rain per year. The humidity is low, and since the air is so dry, there are extreme temperature differences in a 24-hour period. In this climate diagram, we see that the temperature can be very high, but the rainfall is very low. The soil is composed of rock particles and sand. There isn't very much organic material in the soil, and the soil may be hard and sun-baked, as shown in the picture. This graphic shows a comparison of the soil profiles of the desert and the grassland. The desert has very little humus, whereas the grassland has a rich humus layer. Plants found in deserts include xerophytes, annuals, succulents, and shrubs. A xerophyte is a plant that needs very little water. It is adapted to arid, dry conditions. An example of a xerophyte is a cactus. There are several plant adaptations for life in the desert. Many plants store water in their tissues. These plants are called succulents. An example is aloe vera. Plant seeds are dormant but germinate rapidly when water is available. Leaves are reduced in size and covered with a thick, waxy cuticle to decrease water loss. Plants aren't clumped together but instead are spread apart. This reduces competition for water. Some desert plants have deep roots and some have shallow roots. The cactus and the mesquite tree are examples of desert plants. Their roots spread far to absorb rainwater. Since their leaves are reduced, their stems store water. and they have spines for protection from being eaten. This is a picture of a saguaro cactus. These diagrams show two desert plants, the cactus and the acacia tree. Focus on the root systems. Notice cactus roots are shallow and the acacia tree roots are deep. Animals adapted to life in the arid desert biome include camels, snakes, rabbits, and lizards. Notice the larger ears and the protective spines. Also notice the coloration. Animal adaptations include being nocturnal, which means the animal is active and feeding at night when it's cooler. Many animals burrow to get into cooler underground areas. Animals find shade and stay there. They minimize contact between their bodies and the hot sand. They pant or sweat to cool themselves, and the excreted wastes of desert animals are dry and highly concentrated, which conserves water. Compare the ear sizes. The desert fox has larger ears, which helps in cooling his body. More heat is lost through the surface area of the large ears. And here's Allen's rule again. This diagram compares animals living in moderate climates to animals living in arid, dry climates. The water loss in urine is greater in the cow than the desert rat. The kidneys of the desert rat are adapted for retaining water. Water loss through evaporation is greater in the desert rat than in the cow. This picture shows camel dung being used to make a campfire. The dung is so dry it will burn. One way humans impact the desert is by irrigating and fertilizing it in order to grow crops. Cities expand into the desert, which destroys habitats, and tourism also damages habitats. This is a city built in a desert, and this is an oil or natural gas well. The last terrestrial biome is the shrubland or chaparral. These areas get more rain than grasslands and deserts, but less than forests. In the chaparral climate diagram, we see the temperatures are between 10 and 20 degrees Celsius annually, and there are wet and dry seasons. These areas are located along the coasts. Examples of plants found in the chaparral are cactus, scrub oak, and shrubs. Examples of animals include lizards and bobcats.